I was going to start recording this month's newsletter, and I realized I didn't have my little prop that I needed, or my tool that I needed in order to make it work. So we're going to talk about creative ways and ideas to actually solve problems. So for 28, 29, 30 years, whatever it's been, I've basically been a champion of change, and I speak about change, innovation, creativity. Hence, I call it chinking. And I talk about the concept of thinking outside the box, because that's what all companies always say: think outside the box. You've got to think outside the box. So I thought in my presentation, if I could speak to that, like in other words, doing things differently. And hence the chinking talk. And recently, obviously, now that the whole COVID thing has happened, my whole new thing is now the invitation to think outside the box is being withdrawn, because now you literally have to work outside the box because the box has been burnt. And I got thinking that although people talk about change, innovation, and creativity, very rarely do people actually give you practical ideas on how to use change, on change techniques and ideas. So it's one thing to talk about change, it's another thing to actually do the change. So I thought to myself, because it's very difficult to think to anybody else, I thought, how could I help people if they come to this impasse, when they can't, they don't know how to solve this problem? There's a relationship issue. Something's happening in their life that they want an answer to, and they just can't get their head around it. And that's where creative thinking comes in. So I want to give you 3 quick ideas on how to creatively think and come up with something that's totally left field, okay? And the first one is ask the good book. Yes, go to the big thick book. What is the big thick book? That's the prop I actually worked out for, and that is the dictionary. Now, how does this technique work? Simple. So let's say you're going through a problem right now, and as you're watching this now, what I need you to do is I need you to think of that, okay? Think of the problem that you're going through now. And I need you to focus on it, and then I need you to give me a number. And give me a number from 1 until, damn, this is a big book. Are the pages, are they numbered in this book? Okay, so this book has got like 1,075 pages, okay? So I'll ask you to pick a number from 1 to 1,075, anything in the middle, 972, 685, 498, whatever. Just pick a number. Have you got your number? Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll make it an issue. I just received a letter this morning, and the letter this morning said one of my tenants, who we've been extremely nice to for a couple of years, has now decided that they are going to just leave the property. So now we have an issue, okay? So that'll be my issue. You think about your issue, okay? And maybe you must do this on your own issue, okay? So my page number, just 475. That just popped into my head. So what I do is I go to page 475, wherever that is. 475. Now at 475, I've got 2 columns. I've got a left column and a right column. So I'm going to think, which one should I it's a right-hand column. So I'm going to go right-hand. So it's 475, right-hand column. Remember, this is for me and my issue that I now have. Now, how many words are there? This looks like there's only about 5 or 6 words on this page. So I'm going to go for word 4. Word number 4. That just popped in. So word number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the word is induction. Introduce to a post or organization the action of inducing, a method of reasoning in which a general rule or conclusion is drawn from a particular fact or example, the passing of electricity or magnesium from one object to another without them touching. Induction. So now what I have to do is I have to take the word induction and I have to come up with solutions. Maybe I need to induct a new tenant. Maybe I need to make sure that the electrical compliance certificate is still valid. Maybe, induction. I'm going to have to work on that one. Do you see how I just did there? Now, the creative brain now steps in where it says, how can I utilize that word in order to solve that problem? Okay? You understand that? That's how we use creativity to solve problems. Here's another one. Hey, why don't you ask Jesus? Now, again, as soon as I say the word Jesus, everybody's going to get up in arms. No. A recent newspaper article said that up to 80% of South Africans are actually Christians. I didn't actually know that. And I don't know if the article is sound, but it said 80% of South Africans either recognize, believe in, or did once believe in the Christian faith. So this is basically a Christian country. So that's why I say, what would Jesus do? And listen, if you don't happen to be of that faith, what would, I don't know, what would Muhammad do? What would Krishna do? Find somebody in your life that you really admire. Even if it's an author, living or dead, makes no difference. Find somebody that you emulate, and ask yourself the question, in this exact situation, what would Neil Donald Walsh do? What would, I don't know, George Carlin do? George Carlin, my hero. I mean, George Carlin is the guy that just blew my mind. He's a guy who talked about social responsibility, and he did that all with comedy and humor. Amazing guy. And you ask yourself the question, well, what would George do? Find somebody in your life. Maybe it's an aunt, maybe it's an uncle, maybe it's a father, somebody who's here, or hey, if they're still here, go and ask them. But if not, try and get your brain to think the way other people, what would Gandhi do? Okay, what would I don't know who these people are that we admire, but that is a second way of solving a problem. In this situation, I could do what I would normally do now, but what would ... do? And that will help you find a solution. And maybe you'll act totally differently to the normal way. Or who knows, maybe that person would confirm what you were actually thinking. And then the third way is, and this is the good one, trust your gut. Whenever there's a problem in life, whenever there's something happens that you just don't know what to do, trust your gut. What does that mean? You already know when something happens, an instinct, something deep down here just pops up and you know the answer. Now, how do you know if it's your gut? Simple. Your gut will answer you in 3 words or less. If it's giving you this long answer, it's your brain, okay? If it's giving you this long-ish answer with sadness and emotion, it's your heart. Your brain and your heart should not really be trusted when it comes to matters that are important. Important matters, trust your gut, okay? Because you have a gut instinct. That gut instinct will say something to you like, not for me, leave, got to get out of here, no thank you. You got it? That is what your gut will do. If your gut speaks longer than that to you, it's not your gut, but that's your natural instinct. That's that preservation. That's that all-knowing immediate response saying something is wrong, okay? Listen, it's almost like animals. Have you noticed when there's a watering hole and there's a buck or a reindeer or something and they're standing drinking and all of a sudden they hear a noise? Now, here's the thing about animals in the wild. They follow their natural gut instincts. So they're busy drinking, they look up, and they hear something, and even see something. What's the gut say? Gut says, leave, get out of here, okay? What is it? The animal starts getting up and starts moving away, all right? We are the only species, and I mean this, we are the only species, the only group of whatevers. When we're quiet and it's alone at night and we see something in the bushes and we go, what was that? And we go, let me go have a look. And we walk into the danger. Okay, stop doing that. Ladies, this is also good advice when it comes to men. When it comes to men, you have a gut instinct. Ladies, I know that you have a heart that says, I can change him. You have a mind that says, yeah, but he's been through rough times and all he needs is rehabilitation. And I'll help him. No. You've got a gut instinct, and that gut instinct says, no, don't, leave, run fast, okay? That's a gut instinct. So here's the thing. In solving problems, 3 simple ways. Number 1, try and face a word. Try and pick up a word, an arb word. I'll try it again. Just look at that word. That says easy. Oh, it says easy. Able to be done without great effort. Hey, now you see, that will solve a problem. Whatever I'm going to do, make sure I follow the easy route. Don't fight, don't argue, don't think. Just follow the line of least resistance. Guess what? Second attempt. I've got something better than induction. Second thing, make sure that you find your higher self. And if you can't find your higher self to solve this problem, look at people that you do admire and that you have admired and that you are trying to be like, and try and find out what they would do, okay? And the third thing is, most importantly, trust your gut. You will never go wrong if you follow that gut instinct. If something is right for you, by the way, it'll say it's right. It's like, yes, this is nice, fantastic, cool, I love this, give me more. You got that? So your gut will never steer you wrong, especially when it comes to making big decisions and creatively coming up with solutions, because all the creativity that you need is already inside of you. All right? Hey, that's my ramble. This is obviously going to be a different version, similar thing, but a different version in writing, so you can read it, you can write it. If you do both, you probably get more out of it. Listen, have a great month, and I'll see you next month. Okay? Get to work.